Education Champions Network, ECN, in Nigeria, we welcome you to the press briefing on the Adamawa Civil Society Education Manifesto for political candidates. The Education Champions Network, ECN, is a global network of champions advocating for girl-child education. ECN Nigeria envisions a Nigeria where all women and girls, particularly the most vulnerable, have access to 12 years of free, safe, and quality education. The Education Manifesto was developed by civil society organizations in Adamawa State under the Election Education Advocacy Project being implemented by ACE Charity, Center LSD, the Inclusion Project, SCAD Initiative, and LEDAP to ensure political candidates prioritize education in their manifestos and even after being elected into offices. The project is also empowering the traditional and religious leaders, media, schoolgirls, and the general public to hold the leaders accountable and ensure that political candidates include specific education asks in their agenda during electioneering campaigns and implement the same when elected. The project is part of the Joint Action Grant supported by Malala Fund. Records have shown that not only is the standard of education falling, but also the rate of out-of-school children, particularly the girl child. This does not give hope for the future of the girls and the people of Adamawa State. With about 20 million out-of-school children in Nigeria, 60% of this figure is from the northeast part of the country, inclusive of Adamawa State. In Adamawa State, 30.2% of primary school age children are not enrolled in any school. 32.7% of girls of primary school age are out of school compared to 27.7% of boys. The number of out-of-school children for junior and secondary school age children is even higher across both genders, but more so for girls.
Level financing for education by spending at least 22.5% of the state budget, in line with the commitment made by the federal government. 2. Provide counterpart funding to access UBE funds to allow for increased financing of the education sector. 3. Strengthen the education monitoring and evaluation system by implementing the UNESCO National Education Accounts to guard proper budget preparation and implementation and make budgets gender sensitive, transparent, and utilized in education.